What is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. We're on playvalorant.com today because just about 10 minutes ago, the Valorant patch notes 1.04 were actually released by Riot. The last patch, patch 1.03, was really small, not very exciting, not really interesting, but patch 1.04 is much bigger. We have a lot more to talk about, so that's really, really awesome for fans of Valorant. People just excited about the game in general. Keeping the game new, fresh, changing it up is always great. It's good for the meta, good for the players, good for professional players, good for the esports scene, good for everybody. Before we get in this video today, I just want to mention real quick, if you're not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. Helps you guys stay up to date on my latest content. Obviously helps me out a ton as well, so it works out for both of us. Also check out the link for Robinhood in the description below if you want to receive a free stock just for signing up. With that being said, here we go, getting into the patch 1.04 patch notes for Valorant. So how about those Elder Flame weapon skins? They tomorrow, July 22nd, is the last day that you can buy the bundle in the shop. Then they're just going to rotate through the shop just like all the normal skins, I'm pretty sure. And on this patch, we have 4 agents getting some polish. And we also have changes to the classic and the pre-round buy menu. But 4 agents getting updated is pretty exciting. Hopefully there'll be a lot of cool changes to go through. That's a lot more than the 0 in patch 1.03, so this should be better. But then still just one gun getting changed. And again, the pre-round buy menu UI. So here we go. Viper getting the first changes. I heard she's getting a lot of buffs, so let's go through it. Viper's Pit, which is her ultimate ability. Her max time outside of her ult before it collapses changed from 5 to 12 seconds. The rumor was that they were going to be tripling that time. Seems like they've gone for like, what is that, 2.5 times instead. Viper can hold the ability key to drop her ult early. That's pretty interesting. And then enemies in Viper's Pit have their minimap obscured and do not provide minimap detection to their allies. I think that's a good change. That's really interesting. And increase the brightness of the red enemy glow at the edge of Viper's near sight. So that's a lot of buffs coming to her ultimate, a lot of new cool stuff she can do, but obviously the biggest change is that she can stay outside of her ultimate for 12 seconds. That allows you to ult, go hide in a corner, go hold a different angle, and then be able to pop in and out and not just have that 5-second countdown just making you get back in your ult. Because then the enemy knows exactly where you are, or you're at least pretty close to your ult, because it takes like you have 2 seconds to leave, but then you better have 2 more seconds to get back, so you can really only be 2 seconds away. Now you can be 6 seconds away. So that's a pretty nice change. Should make her ult a lot more good, a lot more usable. The decay, enemy decay per second increased from 10 to 15 from all sources. After exiting Viper's smoke, enemy decay sustains for 2.5 seconds before starting to fade. So they're making her decay a lot stronger. I know when they started adding the decay to Viper in the first place, people weren't really sure even how good it was, because yeah, it was only 10 and it only lasts for a little bit of time. That's another nice buff. And then fuel, having both Poison Cloud and Toxic String active does not consume additional fuel beyond the cost of having one active. That is actually such a nice quality of life change, because yeah, having both of those running, you'd run out of fuel so fast, and it just ended up making both of them like completely useless. You just want to use like one at a time. Lot of changes to Viper here. She's getting 3 buffs overall, but really you could even say like 4 or 5 buffs overall, just because like yeah, her ult, her decay, and her fuel are all getting buffed. But then there's even multiple changes to her ult, multiple changes to her decay. A lot going on with Viper here. She's been the lowest win rate agent. I'm going to be curious to see how much her win rate increases. Should be really interesting. Seems like a lot of things are going to make her just more usable, easier to use, and hopefully make her more fun and make her a little bit better in this meta. Raze, she's been busted for a while. Her ultimate showstopper cost has been changed from 6 to 7. I think this is a great change. This is honestly one of the things I'd been recommending and talking about. Her ult is so good. It definitely is. She's still going to be very strong, very playable. This doesn't like break her, ruin her. It doesn't make her weak by any means. She has a very great ult, making it 7 points. She has the ability to frag so much. Getting to 7 ult points with Raze shouldn't be that much more difficult. It'll allow her to just have less ults, because man, her ult is so good. Huge AoE. You can get multi kills with it. So good, just clearing out spaces. I think making it to 7, I think is correct. I think it should be. It is a very powerful ultimate. It deserves to be the highest cost. But I don't think it like takes her out of the meta or anything by any means. I think she'll still be fun to play. She'll just be a little weaker. So I think that's a great nerf. Brimstone Orbital Strike Ultimate changing from 6 to 7. Stim Beacon no longer buffs enemies and no longer shows its effect radius to enemies. I did not know it buffed enemies, but I think it no longer showing its effect radius to enemies is an amazing change. Stim Beacon was so trash, because if you threw it down, if you wanted to use it, you were giving away your location to the enemy, and that just didn't even make sense. That was so stupid. It's already not that good of an ability as it is, but then to show the enemy exactly where you are makes it almost never worth even buying or using. It's so situational. So it was such a terrible ability. That is an amazing change. Again, this is interesting to know that it buffed the enemies, because I did not know that. But yeah, this is a great change. His ultimate going up I don't know if it needed to be 7. I don't know. It's definitely a good ultimate, definitely clears out big spots, but did it need to be 7? I don't know. We'll see. I didn't really think his ultimate was too broken. Brimstone's arms fidelity. When you really think about an FPS, you'll notice you spend an awful amount of time looking at your arms. For launch, we intended to increase the fidelity of Brimstone's arms to match overall quality game. Okay, so they gave him bigger biceps or something. I don't know. That's a weird change. So, uh, a nerf and a buff to Brimstone. Um, I don't know. Seems like some good changes. Hopefully, his stim beacon will be a little bit more usable and playable now, but obviously his ultimate will be up a little bit less often. Cypher Cage can now be picked up during the buy phase. That's just a nice like little quality of life change. I don't know if that's really a buff. I mean, it is a buff, but it shouldn't increase his win rate too much. But that's a nice change. Weapon updates. The classic right click was the primary bug fix here. We saw an opportunity to make the weapon behave a bit more consistently. We slightly tuned efficacy of jump right clicks, but hopefully haven't taken away the viability in close range scenarios. Fixed a bug where running inaccuracy on the right click was much higher than intended. Running was added a 1.5 penalty because it was referencing our generalized running error curves for pistols. Okay, so you weren't getting like the shotgun running accuracy. Fix a bug where jumping had no accuracy penalty. That's not good. Running spread changed from 3.4 to 2.1, which was just a bug fix. It's not like a change or anything. Jumping spread changed from 1.9 to 2.3. Walking spread changed from 1.9 to 1.95. Added 10% bonus accuracy while crouching and stationary. Intent is to feel consistent with crouching, provided an accuracy benefit. So just kind of some updates to Classic. I don't think it's really a buff or nerf or anything in the end. Just kind of some fixes, some slight changes. It's going to be a little bit better while running now, and a little bit worse while jumping. Heads-up display in UI replaced the previous weapon stats text box in the pre-round shop with an easier to compare graphical representation of stats. Quality of life, we have the observer minimap vision cones are now colored by team. Replace Reina's voiceover for Italian and Mexican. Due to COVID-19, the talents were identified for the role were not able to record. That sucks. Elder Flame skins adjusted the volume, just some bug fixes, performance updates, just some extra stuff. But I think the meat of this was the agent changes, the gun changes, all that stuff. So that's the exciting stuff. But yeah, some really awesome stuff. Again, a lot of changes, a lot more agent. I think the patch notes are more exciting, more interesting when there is a lot of agent stuff going on, when there's a lot more changes, stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What was your guys' favorite change of this patch? What do you think they got right? What do you think they got wrong? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to update on all this content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.